My dear one, life is always moving forward. The river of time never flows backward, and neither should you. Holding on to the past is like carrying a heavy bag filled with regrets, pain, and memories that no longer serve you. But today I want you to know, you have the power to release it all. You have the ability to step into a new reality, one where you are free, light, and at peace. Letting go is not about forgetting, it's about setting yourself free. Moving on does not mean the past didn't matter, it means your future matters more. So today, we take a deep breath together and we make the choice to move forward. The past is a closed chapter, a story already written. No amount of regret, no amount of replaying events in your mind, and no amount of wishing things had gone differently can alter what has already happened. The past is what it is, and the more you fight it, the more you suffer. But when you accept that the past cannot be changed, you set yourself free. Many people spend their days looking back, dwelling on mistakes, missed opportunities, and painful moments that haunt them. They replay conversations in their minds, thinking of what they should have said or done differently. They punish themselves for choices they made when they didn't know better. But what does this really accomplish? Nothing changes except for the weight they carry in their hearts. The past remains untouched, but the present moment is poisoned by regret. Acceptance is not about approval. It is not about saying that what happened was right or fair. It does not mean that you condone the pain, the betrayal, or the loss. It simply means you acknowledge that what happened happened. It is an acknowledgement that you do not have the power to rewrite the past, but you do have the power to shape your future. The moment you stop resisting reality, you open yourself to healing. Think about it this way. If you continue to live in the past, you are handing over your power to something you cannot change. You are allowing past circumstances, past mistakes, and past wounds to dictate your present and future. But you are not meant to be trapped in yesterday. You are meant to be fully alive today, and to do that, you must stop carrying the burden of what you cannot undo. One of the most important things to understand is that every choice, every decision, and every event in your life happened based on the knowledge and awareness you had at that time. Looking back, you may see things more clearly now. You may think, I should have known better, or I should have done something differently. But you didn't know then what you know now. If you had, you would have acted differently. Be gentle with yourself. You were doing the best you could with the understanding you had. There is also the illusion that if you keep holding on to the past, you can somehow fix it or change its impact on your life. But this is not how healing works. Healing begins when you release the need to fix something that is already done and instead focus on what you can do moving forward. You can either remain in the past, dwelling on things you cannot change, or you can take the wisdom from those experiences and use them to build a better future. Let's consider a metaphor. Imagine you are holding a rope that is tied to a large rock. This rock represents your past. You are gripping the rope so tightly, refusing to let go, and as a result, you are stuck. The weight of the rock is keeping you from moving forward, and your hands are sore from the effort of holding on. But here is the truth. You are not chained to the rock. The rope is in your hands. You can choose to let go. And when you do, you will feel a lightness, a freedom that you never thought possible. Letting go of the past does not mean forgetting. It does not mean that what happened did not matter. It simply means you are choosing to stop allowing it to control you. You are choosing peace over suffering. You are choosing to live for today instead of reliving yesterday. It is also important to understand that when you refuse to accept the past, you are keeping yourself from embracing the gifts of the present moment. Think of all the beauty, the love, and the opportunities that exist for you right now. When your mind is constantly pulled backward, you miss out on the joy that is waiting for you in the present. Life is happening now, and the longer you dwell on what was, the more you miss out on what is. You might wonder, but how do I truly accept the past when it still hurts? The answer is simple but profound. You make the decision to accept it. You remind yourself daily that no amount of thinking or wishing can change what has already happened. You practice self-compassion, understanding that you did the best you could. And you focus on gratitude. Gratitude for the lessons, gratitude for the strength you have gained, and gratitude for the chance to create a new path. Every morning you have a choice. You can wake up and drag the past with you, or you can wake up and embrace the possibilities of a new day. You can allow the past to define you, or you can choose to redefine yourself. The power is in your hands. There is great freedom in saying, I accept what was, and I choose to move forward. It is a declaration of strength, a release of resistance, and a commitment to your own peace. Let today be the day you decide that your past does not control you. Let today be the day you step into a new chapter with an open heart and a fearless spirit. The past is behind you, the future is waiting, and you are ready. Blame and guilt are two of the heaviest burdens a person can carry. They weigh down the heart, cloud the mind, and keep the spirit trapped in a cycle of regret and self-punishment. But life was never meant to be lived in a state of emotional imprisonment. You were not born to suffer under the weight of past mistakes or to hold on to resentment for what others have done. True freedom comes when you decide to release these burdens and step into the lightness of forgiveness, both for yourself and for others. Blame is a chain that keeps you connected to the pain of the past. When you blame someone for what they did to you, you give them power over your present moment. You allow them to continue hurting you, not through their actions, but through the thoughts and emotions you replay in your mind. You keep yourself stuck in a loop of anger, resentment, and frustration. But ask yourself, is this serving you? Is holding on to blame changing what happened? Or is it keeping you locked in a space where healing cannot fully take place? Letting go of blame is not about excusing bad behavior. It is not about pretending that pain did not occur. It is about recognizing that holding on to anger does not serve your highest good. When you blame others, you are carrying their mistakes with you. You are letting what they did shape your life today. But you deserve better than that. You deserve to be free from the emotional weight that blame brings. The same is true for guilt. Many people find it easier to forgive others than to forgive themselves. They carry guilt for things they said or did in moments of weakness. They punish themselves for decisions made when they were younger, less aware, or in a different emotional state. They replay their mistakes over and over, as if reliving them could somehow undo them. But guilt does not change the past. It only robs you of peace in the present. It is important to remember that you did the best you could with the knowledge and awareness you had at the time. If you knew better, you would have done better. But hindsight is always clearer than the moment in which decisions are made. Be kind to yourself. No one moves through life without making mistakes. No one is perfect. And holding on to guilt only keeps you trapped in a version of yourself that no longer exists. Guilt has a way of convincing you that you do not deserve happiness. It tells you that because of your past actions, you must suffer or atone in some way. But that is not true. Growth does not come from self-punishment. It comes from self-awareness and change. If you have learned from your past, if you have made amends where possible, then you have already done the most important work. The next step is to release guilt and allow yourself to embrace joy again. One of the most powerful tools for releasing blame and guilt is forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It is about you. When you forgive, you cut the energetic ties that keep you bound to the past. You say, I choose peace over pain. You reclaim your power. The mind is a storyteller, constantly weaving narratives from past experiences. Some stories uplift and empower, while others keep you trapped in cycles of pain, regret, and self-doubt. The old stories, those tales of heartbreak, betrayal, missed opportunities, and failures, often play on a loop, keeping you stuck in the past. But just because these stories have been repeated doesn't mean they are true, and it certainly doesn't mean they define you. You have the power to stop replaying them and step into a new reality. Many people live their lives haunted by the past, replaying painful events in their minds as if doing so will change the outcome. They relive conversations, re-experience heartbreak, and revisit moments of shame or regret. But what does this accomplish? Does it fix what happened? Does it bring back lost time? No, it only deepens the suffering. The past cannot be rewritten, but the way you think about it can be. Every time you revisit an old story, you are reinforcing its presence in your life. You are keeping old wounds open, feeding the emotions attached to them, and allowing past pain to shape your present reality. But here is the truth. That story is over. It has already been written. And you are not meant to keep reading the same painful chapter when a new one is waiting to be written. Why do we replay old stories? Sometimes it is because we believe that if we analyze the past enough, we can find a different outcome. Other times it is because the pain has become familiar and the mind clings to what it knows, even if it is harmful. There is also the illusion that holding on to the past protects us from making the same mistakes, but in reality it does the opposite. It keeps us stuck, fearful, and unable to move forward. Letting go of old stories does not mean ignoring or denying your past. It does not mean that what happened was insignificant. It simply means that you no longer allow those experiences to define your future. You acknowledge them, you take the lessons, and you move forward with a new perspective. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Each rock represents an old story, something that hurt you, disappointed you, or made you feel unworthy. You have been carrying this weight for years, believing it is necessary. But what if you stopped for a moment and set the backpack down? What if you realized you do not have to carry it anymore? You would feel lighter, freer, more at peace. This is what happens when you stop replaying old stories. The first step to breaking free from these cycles is awareness. Notice when your mind drifts back to an old story. Become conscious of how often you replay the same painful memories. Ask yourself, is this serving me? Is this bringing me peace? If the answer is no, then it is time to choose a different thought. One of the most powerful ways to stop replaying the past is to replace old stories with new ones. Instead of focusing on a time when you felt rejected, remind yourself of moments when you were loved and appreciated. Instead of fixating on a failure, shift your attention to the lessons it taught you and how you have grown since then. You are not the same person you were back then. You are wiser, stronger, and more aware. Another important step is forgiveness, both for yourself and for others. Holding on to resentment keeps the past alive in your mind. It binds you to the pain. But forgiveness is not about letting someone off the hook. It is about setting yourself free. It is about choosing peace over suffering. Affirm to yourself, I release the past. I am free to create a new future. I choose peace over pain. I let go of stories that no longer serve me. I am not my past. I am limitless in my potential. Every moment you have a choice to replay the past or to be present in the now. The more you focus on the present, the less power the old stories will have over you. Engage in activities that bring you joy. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. And remind yourself daily that you are worthy of a fresh start. Your past does not define you. Your mistakes do not define you. The stories you have been telling yourself are not set in stone. You can choose a new narrative. You can decide right now, that you will no longer relive pain that no longer serves a purpose in your life. You have the power to stop replaying old stories and step into a future filled with love, peace, and endless possibilities. The story is still being written, and this time you get to choose the ending. Life is a continuous flow of change, growth, and renewal. Yet so many people cling to what is familiar, even when it no longer serves them. They hold on to old relationships, outdated beliefs, past regrets, and emotional burdens, leaving little room for new blessings to enter. But just as a garden must be cleared of weeds for new flowers to bloom, your life must have space for new opportunities, new love, and new experiences to take root. Making space for the new is an act of trust, a declaration to the universe that you are ready to receive something better. Letting go is often the hardest part. People become attached to what they know, even if it causes pain or keeps them stuck. Fear whispers, "What if nothing better comes? What if I regret letting go? But what if holding on is the very thing blocking the life you are meant to have?" Imagine a closed fist clutching an old worn-out item. As long as your hand remains clenched, nothing new can be placed in it. The moment you open your palm, you create space for something fresh, something better. Old emotions, past experiences, and outdated beliefs take up space in the mind and heart. When you carry resentment, heartbreak, or self-doubt, you fill your emotional and mental energy with clutter. Just as a cluttered home can feel overwhelming, a cluttered mind prevents clarity and peace. Making space means consciously releasing what no longer serves you. It means deciding that the past is over and the future is filled with possibilities. Begin by looking at what you are holding on to. Are you carrying anger towards someone who hurt you? Are you reliving a past mistake, punishing yourself over and over? Are you clinging to a relationship that has run its course? Acknowledge these things without judgment. Recognize that they are taking up space in your life. Then ask yourself, is this helping me move forward? If not, it is time to let it go. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful ways to create space for the new. When you forgive, you do not excuse the actions of others, but you release yourself from the burden of carrying them. You free yourself from the emotional weight of resentment and pain. Similarly, self-forgiveness allows you to move beyond guilt and step into self-love. You cannot welcome new joy if your heart is full of self-criticism. Who you were yesterday does not have to define who you are today. Every single moment you have the power to step into a new identity, to transform your mindset and to create the life you desire. Too often, people remain trapped in outdated versions of themselves, versions shaped by past experiences, mistakes, or the expectations of others. But the truth is, you are not bound by your past. You can choose to release old identities and step fully into the person you are meant to be. Stepping into a new identity begins with a decision. You must first recognize that you are not your past failures, not the labels others have placed upon you, and not the limitations you once believed about yourself. You are a constantly evolving being, capable of change, growth, and reinvention. But before you can embrace this transformation, you must let go of the old version of yourself that no longer aligns with your highest vision. Many people hold onto an identity that keeps them stuck. They say, "I've always been this way," or "This is just who I am." But these are just stories that can be rewritten. If you identify as someone who is always unlucky in love, you will unconsciously continue to attract relationships that reinforce that belief. If you see yourself as someone who always struggles financially, you will find yourself repeating the same pattern. Your identity shapes your reality. So if you want to create a new reality, you must first create a new identity. The process of stepping into a new identity requires clarity. Who do you want to become? What does the highest version of yourself look like? How does this person think, speak, and act? Imagine this new version of yourself in great detail. Visualize yourself walking confidently, making empowered choices, and embracing life with joy and purpose. The more clearly you define this new identity, the easier it becomes to step into it. One of the most powerful ways to embody a new identity is through self-talk. Your words and thoughts shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your reality. Instead of reinforcing an old identity with phrases like, "I'm not good at this," or "I'll never change," start affirming the new version of yourself. Say, "I am confident, I am capable, I am becoming the person I was meant to be." Your actions must also align with this new identity. You cannot simply think your way into a new version of yourself. You must embody it through your daily habits and decisions. If you want to be someone who is strong and disciplined, start showing up in small ways that reinforce that belief. If you want to be a person who radiates self-love, begin treating yourself with kindness and respect. Transformation happens in the small moments, in the daily choices that reflect who you are becoming. Letting go of your old identity also means releasing the need for external validation. Many people remain stuck in limiting roles because they fear how others will react to their growth. They worry that stepping into a new version of themselves will make others uncomfortable. But you are not here to live according to the expectations of others. You are here to evolve, to grow, to step into your fullest potential. Some people in your life may not understand your transformation. They may try to pull you back into the identity they are familiar with. But remember, their perception of you does not define you. You do not have to stay the same for the comfort of others. The right people will celebrate your growth, and those who resist it are simply revealing their own limitations. Affirm to yourself, "I am free to reinvent myself at any moment. I release the past and step into my highest self. I am becoming the best version of me, and I welcome this transformation with love and confidence." Stepping into a new identity is not about pretending to be someone you are not. It is about aligning with who you were always meant to be. It is about peeling away the layers of self-doubt, fear, and limitations to reveal the powerful, radiant being within you. The moment you decide to embody this new identity, your entire world begins to shift. You start attracting new opportunities, relationships, and experiences that reflect this transformation. You begin to see yourself through new eyes, no longer weighed down by past mistakes or old stories. You are not the person you were a year ago, a month ago, or even yesterday. You are evolving, expanding, and growing into something extraordinary. Step into this new identity fully, boldly, and unapologetically. The future is waiting for you, and it is yours to create. There is a divine intelligence that orchestrates the unfolding of life. It moves through the rhythm of the seasons, the rising and setting of the sun, and the perfect synchronicities that guide you toward your destiny. This intelligence, the universe, has a plan for you. Even when life feels uncertain, even when doors close and paths seem unclear, trust that you are always being guided toward something greater. Trusting in the universe's plan means understanding that nothing happens by accident. Every experience, every challenge, and every redirection is a step along your journey. When things don't go the way you expect, it's easy to fall into doubt, fear, or frustration. But what if the detours are actually leading you somewhere better? What if every delay is divine timing, ensuring that you arrive at your destination at exactly the right moment? Many people struggle with trust because they feel the need to control every aspect of their lives. They believe that if they don't push, force, or manipulate situations, things won't work out. But the truth is, the universe does not operate on struggle. It operates on alignment. When you trust that the universe has a plan for you, you allow yourself to move with the natural flow of life instead of resisting it. You open yourself up to possibilities that are even greater than what you imagined. Think about the times in your life when something didn't work out, only to later realize it was a blessing in disguise. Perhaps you didn't get the job you desperately wanted, but it led you to an even better opportunity. Maybe a relationship ended, and you later found love that was deeper and more fulfilling. In the moment, you may not have understood why things happened the way they did, but looking back, you can see the perfection of it all. Trusting the universe does not mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means taking inspired action while also surrendering the outcome. It means moving forward with faith, knowing that you are co-creating your reality with a force much greater than yourself. When you align with this force, life flows with more ease, joy, and purpose. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate trust is to release the need to know how everything will unfold. The mind always seeks certainty, but life is full of unknowns. Trying to control every detail only creates anxiety and resistance. Instead, shift your focus from how things will happen to what you desire and why it matters to you. Trust that the universe is working behind the scenes, arranging everything for your highest good. Affirm to yourself, I trust that the universe is guiding me to my highest good. Everything is unfolding perfectly, even if I don't yet understand it. I release control and allow life to surprise me with blessings. Another way to strengthen your trust is to look for signs and synchronicities. The universe is always communicating with you, but you must be open to receiving its messages. Maybe you keep seeing the same numbers, hearing the same words, or meeting people who seem to appear at just the right moment. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that you are on the right path. Let go of the belief that you have to struggle to receive what you desire. Life is not meant to be a constant battle. When you trust, you shift from a mindset of lack to a mindset of abundance. You begin to see that opportunities are everywhere, that love is always available, and that the support you need will always find you. If you find yourself doubting, remember all the times in your life when things worked out, even when you thought they wouldn't. Remind yourself that you have always been taken care of, and you always will be. The universe is infinitely wise, and it knows what is best for you, even when you can't see it yet. Stepping into trust is a choice you make every day. It is choosing faith over fear, surrender over resistance, and flow over force. It is knowing deep in your soul that you are exactly where you need to be. And when you embrace this trust fully, life begins to unfold in the most magical, beautiful ways.